First Trust Bank can help make your money do more. Ask about their CDs with annual percentages ranging from 2.27 APY to 2.53 APY. First Trust Bank has the staff dedicated to better serve you. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, and MLS number 688788.
At this point for you guys?
Camp's been going really well. We're really happy. Obviously, it's the beginning, so we got to make more strides. We're definitely not ready for a season, but no one is at this point. We're really excited how it's going. We had a really, really good spring. Super excited about how we came out of that. Had a really great summer, offensively and defensively. I know that. Worked hard. I know within my position group, we did a lot of going through the old plays, trying to get everything squared away. And as we're going through, we're having different adjustments. But we had a little bit of a head start there. We're rolling through well, and we're just really excited to keep it going.
TJ, defensively for you guys, how's it going?
As he said, it's going great. I mean, we're just taking everything day by day and trying to teach all the freshmen, what's new and, just making plays out there. And, we're pushing the offense, and the offense is pushing the defense every day.
I know you guys probably haven't had much contact yet. If you have, correct me, but is it getting to a point where you guys are ready to start hitting some people?
Yeah, we just put pads on yesterday, so, I mean, we just started. It felt good to get out there and actually thud a little bit, get physical, let out some anger. But, yeah, we just started.
Yeah, it definitely felt good to have the pads back on, especially as an offensive lineman. That's our world. That backfield can do a lot of stuff with just helmets, but O-line, we got to be collision.
Jackson, you're part of the young line this year. What's it been like kind of gelling as a unit?
Well, we're a young line, but we got a lot of redshirt guys, and we've also brought in a few older guys as transfers, and they've gelled immediately. Like, we've had a couple transfers come in, one at the beginning of the summer and one during spring ball, and immediately hopped in. It's like they've been here for the past 3 years. As far as young guys go, yeah, they're young, but they're redshirts. They've been around us a lot. We've been talking with them. They've been talking to us. We've been playing by each other a lot, so maybe we're younger, but it almost doesn't feel like that because we've been together and around each other so much.
TJ is one of the veterans on this team, a team that returned a lot of guys from last year. How good is it having the same group that you've worked with over the years, and how much of an advantage does that give you guys heading into this year?
It just feels good because, you got that trust factor. I can just know that my brother's going to make a play, and I don't have to push him or anything. I can just believe that he'll be there when he needs to, and he believes the same thing in me. And it's just more of a family, and we're tight-knit.
Jackson, I guess you can speak on behalf of everyone here. Is there a team motto that you guys have this year? What's like the message to get to where you guys need to be?
Well, so there's a couple of them I can think of right now. The first one is family. We break it down on that multiple times a day, at the end of every day. Family on 2, 1, 2, family. Just remember, we're a family, take care of each other, love each other. The best teams are the closest teams. Second, offensively, it's DYJ. Do your job. I mean, it's a team sport, so do your part and let everybody else take care of theirs. So that's what I got in my mind. That's what I think the rest of at least the offense, DYJ, that's our thing. Just kind of going with.
You guys have both been here for 4 years. Kind of just talk about the way this program has been built and the momentum that's growing here, and that everybody kind of thinks that this is kind of ready for a breakthrough year, but just kind of over glance, I guess, the last 4 years here. It's been a slow building process. Or maybe it's not slow, it's steady building process.
Yeah, it's definitely steady. I'd say that every year the leadership has built, and you could see that there's a structure on this team that, we're not playing games, and if you're not, doing what our values are, then, we're going to need to change that, and the leadership is just the best it could be right now, I feel. And like we said, we're a family, so everybody just believes in each other, and it's not hard out there. It's easy to just play with each other and not have any arguments or anything.
And also with that, not only is the leadership grown, which it definitely has, I think just the team closeness. Like within position groups, I'm way closer with this O-line than I have before. It just makes sense. I've been here longer with them, but we are closer, and I feel closer with other position groups too more. Like over the summer, a couple of weekends, a bunch of old linemen, some DBs, a couple of linebackers, tight ends, just whoever you are, it didn't matter. It's EKU. We all getting together, hanging out. So it's where I didn't feel like that happened as much. Maybe I was just young and weird. It's very likely. But at that time, I didn't feel that as much. But now it's here, and I really feel like we're all truly family. It's not just a word to say anymore.
Jack can talk about the new offensive coordinator, kind of how the offense has changed. And we saw it in the spring game that it was obviously when we're high flying, when we're open, and scored a lot of points, and like it was fun to be part of.
Yeah, it was definitely fun to be a part of. I like Coach Austin a lot. I like what he's bringing to us. A lot of the stuff that's changed is on the perimeter and the backfield. For the O-line, they did a great job of keeping it similar for us and simple. I mean, of course, there's changes, but there was a lot of carryover, which made it easier for us to go full force into this season.
For both of you guys, I mean, it feels like you guys have been building up the last 4 years here. Do you feel like this is the year where you guys can finally break through, get back to the postseason, OVC championship? What is the expectation, the feeling like between this group of guys?
First. I believe this is definitely the year that we actually make a postseason run, and we believe that we can win the OVC championship. I believe when I first got here, we're definitely we weren't as good as we were now, nowhere near. I believe now that how we are now and the team that we have and the coaching staff we have, this is definitely our year that we can definitely make a postseason run.
Yeah, like J. Lou said, I think this is a year for sure. I mean, we've tried to do something productive every year, but I think just this off season with Coach Naylor and all the guys just working hard and pushing each other, we definitely created more of a family and more of a competitive atmosphere, and we're looking forward to take that momentum from last season and go into this season. So.
Jason, how's the transition of the new offensive coordinator going for you guys? You liking how everything's sort of shaping out at this point?
It's amazing. Coach Austin is he's one of the best coaches I've been around since I've been in college. He's smart. He's energetic. He brings energy day in, day out, whether it's 6 a.m. or 9 p.m. He's always ready to work. He's been coaching me hard, making sure that I'm staying on track, and the offense that he has in place for us is amazing, and it's built for a running back like me or Daryl to thrive in. And I believe that what he's doing with this offense and the RPO scheme is amazing.
Steven, for you, I know 16 total returning starters, 8 on the defensive side too. That's got to feel pretty good just having the same guys that you played with last year, maybe the year before. How is that going to be an advantage?
That'll definitely be an advantage as far as just experience, having guys that know what to do and have been in those situations before. We've got a bunch of good senior leadership from the D-line. We got AP and Taquan and Elijah, and then in the linebacker room we got seniors Trey and B. Irv and Corey all coming back, and in the safeties we got like Tim and Pud and guys like that. Just being able to lean on them and kind of look up to them, and those guys are really setting the example for all the younger guys to step up. So.
If you look down the depth chart, there's so much depth at every position. That's such a huge change from just a couple of years ago. So talk about how competitive that depth chart is.
For us it's definitely competitive, but I think in that competitive spirit, it brings out the best in everybody. It does for sure. So.
For the running back room, it's very competitive. We all want to play. We have a lot of guys in there who are older guys who know what to do and what it takes. But we all thrive off each other. When we're in that meeting room, we're all talking to each other, what we see, what we don't see. So it's competitive, and at the same time, we all want to better each other, help each other out to get to where we have to be. So it's good competition.
Talk about how you guys are saying you feel like this is a year that could be very special. How important was the end of last year to finish on a winning streak? How big was that to put that thought into your head that, all right, this is it, we are here right now?
I believe that was big. What we talk about this year, we try not to reminisce on last year as much as we can because it is a new team, it's new coaches, a lot of things have changed, and we are a completely different team than last year. But still, that momentum that we built up, that 4 games, that was amazing. To go into the offseason with that 4 games and just miss the playoffs by 1 game, it did sting. So we've used that to fuel the fire definitely this year.
For sure. Yeah, I think J-Lu hit on the big point is that, we kind of going into this season with a little chip on our shoulder. We finished good, but not where we wanted to last year. So we're looking to take that next step this season.
I mean, you picked 3rd in the preseason poll, which is where you finished last year, but a little extra motivation because obviously you guys think you're better than that.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Definitely, we definitely believe that we are better than that. But the two teams that are in front of us, they're great teams. Jack State, I don't know how many years they've won the OVC, but they're an amazing team. They're coached well. Same with SEMO. They're tough guys. They run to the ball on defense. So by no means is the OVC a slouch. I believe those 2 teams, and there's a few other teams in the OVC who definitely are going to give us competition. So we don't believe that any game is an easy game because all these teams are amazing. They do well what they do, and they're all coached well.
Mm-hmm.
Entering your final year here, just the excitement. I mean, a lot of returning guys. Feels like you guys can make some noise this season.
I think it's going to be a real special year. It's one of them things where a program builds up to this moment where it could be a make or break, and I feel like we're on a good track for this to be a very special year and one for all of us to remember.
How excited are you to sort of get to be a part of a
I'm very
offensive scheme, I guess, too?
I'm very excited because one of the main reason I chose this university was for this reason, was to turn things around, and just after my 4-year tenure here to see the progress that's being made and where it's going to take it is just amazing to be a part of the process.
What's it been like adjusting to this new offense?
It's been great. It's been new for us, but we seen so much good out of it that we all love it. We've been getting more and more comfortable with different things that we wasn't doing last season, and just knowing that everyone is involved and everyone have the chance to make plays just make it that much better.
Is this the deepest team you've ever played on?
Yes, sir. It's definitely have. We're filled with depth at multiple positions, and we're so comfortable where a lot of our tools can be a starter other places. And that helps us in practice where iron is sharper than iron, and we're getting each other better with competition, friendly competition. It's always we're brothers first, but it just makes the program that much better because we all competing together.
And by kind of building a legacy for the senior class, you can talk about what it was like when you first got here. It was depth. There was hardly enough depth to fill up a depth chart.
It was tough. We had a lot of new faces. Coach Elder was coming in. It was a lot of new things going on, and to see the groundwork that we put in, the foundation, building and really coming to something better than we can imagine is just, I think it's a great feeling, and just to be a part of it and knowing we made a difference, I think it's just going to be, it's very special.
Going through those 3-8, 4-7 years,
It was
pretty painful.
Yeah, it was really tough, but one thing Coach Elder, he did a great job with making us, we know that we were better and what we were capable of, and he made us work that much harder to prove that what we can do and let everyone know what we're capable of.
I don't know if it makes as much a difference for you as it does for the wide receivers or not, but you got a bunch of guys competing at the quarterback position right now, and I guess you take snaps from all of them. So, kind of what's that like? I mean, are they kind of similar guys, or does it all kind of fit in the offense?
They all fit our offense. We love them all, and it's quarterback is just, that's a tough thing when you got a bunch of great guys but only one can play. That's just one of them positions that you had to bite the bullet with, but I love all of our quarterbacks. I don't see it no different, but it's just that's one of them things where it's only like at running back we're deep, but only one can be on the field. So it's one of them things where you give and take. But I feel like all of them are special and they're competing in a good way. So the only way is up for each and every one.
Do you seniors kind of feel like, you know, it's kind of playoffs or bust? Like if you guys don't get back in the playoffs, it'll kind of be disappointing for you guys?
It will be. I'm not gonna sit here and lie like it wouldn't, but just knowing the note that we left off on last year, even though that don't really mean much this year, just knowing what we're capable of and what we can do, it just gives us every reason to want to go prove it to everyone.
Which is what we're looking for. I mean, we set the standards and expectations, and then they've been all off season and thus far this summer been the ones that holding each other accountable for that, and we certainly feel that we've got all the makings of a tremendous team that's coming up fall. And this camp, we walk into this camp with a great sense of belief. I'm sure that you guys felt that when our players are up here at the mic. There's just a great sense of belief amongst each other and with this team. There's just a different feel than what we've had. And obviously we've accomplished absolutely nothing. We're 0-0. A lot of people like to take what was last year and certainly very proud of some of the things that were done last year and talk about something like a winning streak and things like that. That doesn't exist. This team's a different team. We're 0-0. We've accomplished absolutely nothing, but there is all the makings of what we want this to be, which is an outstanding football team that believes in each other, that's working really hard to earn what we're capable of being.
There's not any carryover or win streak or anything like you were just saying. These guys, the way they finished last year was such on a high note, but then didn't make the playoffs. Do you feel like they have that sense this year? It's playoffs or bust. I mean, that's certainly on the radar for them.
Well, I know we certainly would like to have the opportunity to play in the postseason for sure. You know, again, no, as a program, we've won a certain number of games in a row. That's as a program, but this team hasn't. This team's a different team than last year's team, and I know that the expectation levels are extremely high amongst ourselves. I mean, the guys in the team meeting room, the guys in the locker room have really high expectation levels for each other, for themselves, and for us, what we're going to be able to do. And being a playoff team is certainly in that what we would like to accomplish and what we would like to be able to do is go play a 13th game. And I don't think that there's any mystery. Our guys are very, very well aware that you become a playoff team by having a great day today. And then the next day you wake up and you have another great day. That it's a day-by-day process of becoming that, not a put your eyesight on the bullseye and that's all you got to worry about is what happens 13 weeks from now or 15 weeks from now, whatever it might be. It's doing a great job today, and then that's how we become the playoff team that we want to be and a championship team like we would like to be.
You talk about talent and depth, and obviously you've got a good problem. In fact, you've got 4 or 5 good quarterbacks. So I know it's only been 4 days, but can you kind of give us an update on the situation there, depth chart there?
Absolutely. It's been 6 minutes since the start. I was kind of shocked that was it took that long to ask about a quarterback. Yeah, we just finished up practice number 4 yesterday. We've got a number of guys that are certainly very, very talented that are capable of leading the team. We're by no means in a situation right now to name a guy at this point in time. So each guy's had a day that they played a little bit better and a day that they haven't played as well. But I think that all 4 of the guys that are upperclassmen are playing at a high level of football, high enough level of football to be very much in the mix still for this position. We haven't even had our first scrimmage, so only 2 days of pads. It's just really too preliminary to have any separation or anything different than what we had in the spring. So that's really where we're at. It's not me dodging the question. It's just reality of being 4 days deep.
They all fit well into Adam's offense?
They do. I think that each guy, and they're different. They are different, but there's enough flexibility within the system that if a guy's a little bit better runner, that can be featured. If he isn't quite as much of a runner, we can have him either hand it or throw it. And, there's enough, hey, this guy's really good with balls down the field, we can do that, versus this guy's a little bit more short area. The complexity of what we're doing, we can expand in any of those areas or limit in any of those areas based upon the strength of the guy that's in the package. So that's really a positive for us. I think that each of the guys, we would have to tailor a little bit towards their strength, but I think that's everybody in the country is doing that. You're tailoring towards what the strengths of your guy in that position are.
Is there a timeline as to when you'd like to have a starter name?
Yeah, we're certainly going to do it before the first game. No, whenever, we don't have a set timetable of exactly when that is. I think that it'll become apparent at some point in time, and when it does, then that's when we'll do that. I think if we try to force the hand on that wouldn't be necessarily the best of situations. But yeah, we would like for it to be sooner than later. I mean, for sure, you want to go in and be giving a guy a larger chunk of the reps so that he can continue to develop that. But at the same point in time, you want to make sure that it's the right decision. So we're going to wait till it becomes a little bit more apparent. It's not at this point in time like this is clearly the guy and everybody in the field is in agreement and so forth. So that will happen, I venture to say. And when it does, we'll name the person at that point in time and handle it appropriately.
What are some of the improvements you want to see just over the next couple of years overall as a team?
Yeah, so, we've already had some big strides in the first couple of days, and all through summer, our guys have been here working their tails off and doing all of those things, working together. They get together and they throw on their own and do some 7-on-7 and things along those lines. You saw in the first couple of days the habits that they're going and executing, but some of the effort clips and effort habits that you would anticipate would be game-like, they are not quite the same when us as coaches are not around. So that's been our biggest focus these first couple days, is really getting our playing effort habits and style of play habits back, because it goes from a little bit more of the summer mode where they're doing it to our expectation of body on body, the ball's thrown, everybody's eyes downfield, get a body on a body, block for the guy with the ball, pursuit to the football. It's not he threw over there, the play's over, as it usually ends up going in the summer. It's a turn and run as fast as you humanly possibly can until you hear the whistle. So those have already, that's been a big step that we've had. Obviously, we're working a lot of different guys, because everybody asks about the quarterback position, but there's a whole bunch of battles going on for playing time. And it's not that we're going to play 11 guys and just 11 guys, but as time goes, a lot more is going to become apparent of, hey, we might be repping 17, 18 offensive linemen right now. Well, before long, that number's going to get to be a smaller number. What number is it? It's going to be more than 5. We're going to play more than 5 guys up front, but what is that number? Is it going to be 10? Is it going to be 8? What is that going to be? And when we get to that point, really the gelling of working together. Obviously, 4 days in, we don't have our whole package in. I mean, we've got our meat and potatoes and first and second down. We've got our red zone in. We've got some of our third down in, but we still have a lot of install to go. We still have a lot of the intricacies that come up in a game, maybe not every game, but in several times a season. We've got to get through a lot of those things and make sure we're getting the reps. So just coming together as a team, looking more like a final product is where we've got to get to over the next week and a half of camp.
How relieving is it, if at all, I guess, for you as a coach to know that you have such a veteran group, and you talked about the belief that they have, and family has been brought up with those guys numerous times just this morning and this afternoon. What's it like for you as a coach to have guys like that?
I love this team. They're a lot of fun to be around. There's a knowledge of the expectation level. There's a belief in the expectation level. And that's really where I think that we've gotten to at this point in time, where it's not just we've grown from learning it to knowing it and now believing in it, and they believe in, yes, these are the expectation levels, and yes, this is what I want them to be too, and that's fantastic, and that makes coming to work and coaching football, which every single one of us loves to do already, it makes it even more fun. Because the guys want it to be this way, and seeing guys that believe in each other, that certainly as a coach is something that warms your heart, because that's a great feeling. These guys really care about each other, and they believe in each other, and know that they're accountable to each other, and can count on each other. So that's really is it's where you want it to be, and we still have a long ways to go. I don't want to make it sound like it's a utopia at this point in time. We're still growing, but we're a big step forward in as a team than where we were a year ago. And when I say that as a team, we talk about family around here as a family. I mean, I think we've taken a big step talent-wise and those things as well. But just as a team, you just have a different feel for how things are right now, which is in a very positive way. There's a different feel.
Daryl's not a big guy, he's only 5'8", but he had 144 touches last year, and without LJ, they probably asked him to take more, but it looks like he's ready to step up and play a bigger role in the offense and carry the load.
Yeah, Daryl's not very tall. Have him take his shirt off, and you're not going to fight him. I can tell you that much. I mean, he's a muscled-up young man. He's worked really hard in the weight room over the last 3 years to put muscle. I mean, he came in fairly scrawny. We joke about that a bunch, and he's put on a lot of good weight. I certainly think that he's going to be capable of carrying the football more for us. I also think that we've got a couple other backs that maybe didn't get as many carries a year ago that will be able to also take on some of that load as well, because we're very capable at that position, and we're going to need multiple people to carry the football effectively for us. I mean, that's a tough position. You get hit a lot. There's a lot of bumps and bruises and injuries that go with that position. So we do anticipate Daryl taking on a larger and even larger role this year. He's been a huge part of our offense the last couple of years. He'll have an even larger role, but we're going to need other guys to also have a larger role there in the backfield so that we can stay healthy and be a complete team.
Obviously, Aaron Patrick, a lot of preseason accolades and stuff, and he's obviously worthy of all those, and he's proven the last couple of years that he's probably one of the best defensive players in the FBS.
Yes. I think that he would be one of the best players in the FCS. He's certainly one of the best players in the FCS. He's a very talented young man. We certainly are when he's playing really well, we're a good defense, because he's good in both aspects, both against the pass. I mean, he can rush the passer, he can run around that edge. He messes up our daggone team drill an awful lot because he runs around the corner and sacks a quarterback or tags off on him an awful lot. But he's really good against the run too. I mean, he is way stronger than what you'd think. I mean, he's very powerful, very strong, can hold the point of attack. He's been having this has been his best camp so far. I mean, it's only 4 days deep, but this has been his best camp thus far. Seems very focused. I'm really excited about where he's at this point.
Are there any other underlying players that, I don't know, maybe you could give some recognition to that have been showing strides this practice and stuff?
Yeah, I think there's a bunch. I mean, I don't want to single out one or two. We are deep, or we're going to play a lot of guys in meaningful time on both sides of the football. I think that we've got a lot of really good football players. We've got guys that will play a large role for us this fall. And again, it's pretty early in camp. I mean, there's still a lot of battles going on of distribution of playing time. Who's going to take 50 snaps and who's going to take 30, who's going to take 10, and all those things. There's still a lot of that going on at this point in time. But just in general, feel very good. Feel like collectively as a team, we're a focused team. We're a team that very much is heading in the right direction.
When I talked to you the other day, we talked about being picked third, and you said that nobody was happy with that, and the expectations were bigger than that. And obviously, it's just a preseason
Yeah.
The expectations are higher than that.
I haven't really asked if anybody, I hope nobody cares that we're picked because preseason accolades are certainly usually based upon last year's. I mean, where did we finish last year? Third. Shocker. We're preseason third. It's amazing how that works. Really, my point is I think if we finish where we're picked right now, I feel like every man in that locker room, every man in the team room will be disappointed that that's where we finished. We have higher expectation levels than apparently what the outsiders feel we're capable of. So, which is great. I mean, we go play 12 games. I mean, we get the opportunity to show exactly what we're worth. Are we worth more than that, the same as that, or less than that? Well, it's up to us. We got to go show what we're valued at. What are we worth? So we get an opportunity to do that. So none of that preseason stuff matters. It's what do? We get the opportunity.
It's obviously a challenging schedule too. I mean, Indiana State, you got to go up there. That's a good team. You got to go to Louisville. You got to go to Jacksonville. You got to go to SEMO. You have to go to EIU. Those long conference road trips. So
Sure.
It's definitely difficult schedule.
Yeah, no, I think we play a good schedule. I do. I think a couple things. It's neat that we got a 12-game schedule. This team's a fun team to coach, so you want it to last as long as possible. We are looking forward to very much playing in December and playing more than 12. It's a difficult schedule. We play the same 8 conference opponents every year. Whether those are home or away, it's irrelevant. We got to be able to win whether it's home, win whether it's away. I don't care if we got to jog there or if it's a 12-hour bus ride or a 5-hour bus ride. That stuff doesn't matter. We got to win. And then we've got a 4-game non-conference schedule that I think is very good. So I'm very excited about the schedule this coming up season, an opportunity for us to show what we're worthy of. And I'd like to, on a side note, say that 8-game OVC schedule I think is undervalued. I think that our conference doesn't get enough credit. And I think you see that when you go and you look at last year, we had 2 teams make the playoffs a year ago. Both of them won a first-round game. You look at since the playoffs have been expanded to 24 teams, the OVC conference has won 45% of their games in the playoffs. That's pretty good. I don't know exactly where that fits in the big picture of all the conferences that have an automatic bid, but I bet it's pretty good. I bet it's way better than what a lot of people think. This is a conference that last year, us getting 2 in, that shouldn't be the outsider. That should be at bare minimum the norm. And there's a lot of good football in this conference, and we need to get the recognition that we deserve. And part of that is we got to, when we get an opportunity to go play another FCS opponent that's not in our conference, we got to go win. And I can tell you this, I'm cheering like crazy for every other OVC team when they go play a team in another conference at the FCS level. I want them to win. I want us to go undefeated out of conference. That's what I want us to do. Go show how good we are.